pit stop at home.
Yep.
And what'd you see?
A nuisance rabbit in my garden.
Snowshoe hare.
Yep.
This time it's not getting released.
Yeah, that's right. Oh.
It's still there.
Yeah, something happened. I have to hit it with a big shell. A little bit big of a bullet, but what happened is this one misfired my 22 adapter. So I guess because it's been sitting in the case for so long, maybe it got damp at some point, and then the shell's bad. I would have liked to have shot it with a smaller bullet, but there we are. I got it, a rabbit!
Morning day 2. I think I'm pretty hungry by now. Jer's he's okay, as always, not super hungry. We managed to get a nuisance rabbit this morning, or hare, snowshoe hare, from doing a little pit stop at Jeremy's house to pick up some more gear for today. So we'll eat that. No luck on the beavers. We have to go down and check the traps again, see what's going on. Last night was a rough night for me. Yeah, it was something we both ate. So Jeremy had the runs in the middle of the night a couple times. He's through it now. I didn't have it at the back end, but I felt like I wanted to do the front end a few times. But I managed to clamp it down and hold it all in, except for a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure what it was. Maybe we ate so many things yesterday. Could have been anything. Jeremy's suspicion is that probably was the mushrooms. We did eat a lot of mushrooms, and he thought some of them, especially the lobster mushrooms, were not on the healthy side of things, and wasn't too picky because we were trying to eat volume. My stomach's kind of raw right now. Which isn't unusual for having not eaten too much stuff, but eating wild foods too. So we'll see how it comes out the other end as the day goes on, if we get enough food today. So yeah, we got a plan to get some raspberries just now and check the traps and see about those groundhogs. If we get something to come through there, or the beaver, or else we're going back to fish, our mainstay. Hey guys, gonna make some chokecherry fruit leather. You can't eat chokecherries as is. They're very sour. Oh, it's hard to eat them in a lot of quantity. Very sour. And they dry out your mouth. But if you dry them into a fruit leather, you can eat a lot more of it. So what I'm gonna do is throw them in this pot here, boil them up, and then I'll push them through a little sieve here, and that'll turn it into a juice. And then from the juice, we can put it in these trays, leave them out in the sun to let them bake, and that'll take the moisture out. If we get around to it, we can add some sweets, maybe some raspberries, and the sugar from the raspberries will help temper the bitterness in the chokecherries. But last year we tried to eat just chokecherries straight, and that didn't work too well. I did convert them to fruit leather later in the season, and I found that I could eat a whole tray of them fairly easily. The only thing about doing it with this method is that when I push it through here, I'll be taking the seeds out, and the seeds are edible, but they're poisonous. They contain cyanide, so they're not good to eat in a big amount of quantity. But if they're dried, they're cooked and dried, then it eliminates the cyanide effect and makes them edible. The reason why you would pick these is because grow in such abundance on a tree that it's really easy to get, you know, all the sugars that you would need from just this, if you could eat this. But of course there are drawbacks, and one of the drawbacks is that it's so bitter that it's hard to eat in quantity. So I'll get started with this. Frame or not? Put that there. We had a bit of a discussion if we were going to try to keep the skin and cook the skin and eat the intestines, and we decided not to. Maybe one day try that. So we're just going to try to slow cook it, you think?
Yep. Yeah, just to simmer while we're doing other stuff.
We are going to put the head in the pot though. I don't think we talked about the head, but we are going to do the head.
Okay.
To get the fat out.
Alright.
It's not a big rabbit, but that's all we got for now.
Yeah, if you want to see this rabbit when it was smaller, you can go to my One Wildcrafter channel, Backyard Foraging, and I think it might be the same rabbit as featured in that film. You'll have to keep the ears, get all the nutrients out of the cartilage.
It's up to you.
There's the bunny suit. There's the bunny.
So do you want to talk about the news on the beaver situation? Because while I was doing the chokecherries,
Yeah.
Jared took for a walk down to the pond, and what did you find?
Nothing. So both traps are untriggered. There's been no activity there. But last night where we went to the second pond, we opened up a couple little holes in the dam, and they were both patched right up tight this morning. So that means the beavers are active higher up and do not seem to be active lower down. And so we are going to call in some assistance with moving traps.
Yeah, so Adam's hopefully going to come back and give us a hand. If not, we're going to try to post up and hunt there, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're just waiting for the word back from Adam. Alright, so we're going to eat the stomach. What else did you throw in there? Throw the kidneys in there?
Yeah.
I mean, the heart and head all going in there anyway.
The heart is nowhere to be found. It was a heart shot.
Ah, perfect kill. Thoughts?
However much. Gonna get more calories from the spice.
So these beaked hazel we grabbed yesterday are a little bit of a pain in the ass to clean. So you can't really handle them with your hands. So a pair of gloves is handy. You can dry them out for quite a few months, and then eventually the husk will fall off and reveal the inside. So what I've been doing is just pinching off the back, because it wants to attach to the back for some reason. So pinch off the back, and then I just spin it around and I can kind of tear it, and that reveals the nut, and then I can pull back on the nut in the husk like so. And then once the majority of it is revealed, Kind of looks like a little kernel of corn. I don't know if you can see that. And that can peel away. You're not going to get those little bristles on your hand. And then take your multi-tool, or you can use a hammer or a hammer stone if you have it, and then just gently crack. And then once that's done, you open it up, and that'll reveal a nut on the inside, a little tiny nut. And these are comparable to any kind of nut, not very flavorful. And this one has a little bit of rod in it. You see the rod on that side, but you can get a fair sized one. And the bigger ones, the bigger healthier ones, tend to work better. So just tear that off the back, tear the front off. That's a better sized nut. So you can see that's a fair sized one, but then you got to crack it open. So on a good sized nut, you get about that much nut, and then you got to grind it real well in your teeth to get the most amount of calories out of it. And within about maybe an hour or so of harvesting, we grabbed this many. But the problem is, of course, you're spending hours and hours processing them. But if you're doing nothing else around the campfire, it's a pretty good use of time. So Jeremy's out checking traps for our groundhog, and I decided to go grab some raspberries, and just to show you the difference between the productivity, and that took me about an hour. This took me about 15 or 20 minutes to get this amount here. So the idea is I'm gonna try to get some of the tartness out by adding some sweetness with the raspberries. So there's maybe 4 or 5 cups of raspberries here. These are much sweeter than the chokecherries, which tend to be a lot more bitter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer them into here, add the raspberries to it, and then we'll boil it again to get those sugars to caramelize a little bit and come out and mix in with the flavor. And then we're going to bake them in the sun, make use of this full sun while we have it. Best thing about bacon is you get to lick the bowl.
Ant eggs. I just got those by licking my finger and touching them. It's the easiest way to pick them up in quantity. You could go with chopsticks, I guess, but take you a long time. Just make sure there's no grit on them, and then you can cook them if you want to. Why not? They're just little, but they're full of protein. Probably a lot of fat too. There it is, roasted cricket. It's leggy and it's really tasty. I'm gonna go catch some more.
Alright, so the only thing left to do is throw them on the sheets here and leave them in the sun. It'd probably take 2 days at about 18 degrees to be just perfect. Make sure the camera's still on. Alright. So we're just gonna pour it out thin. So that'll be done when it's not tacky anymore to the touch. I try to lay these down flat so that they dry flat. It'll turn into a leather, and it'll taste better than raw chokecherries, but it's a lot of work, so be prepared. Oh, finally get to sit down and eat. Jeez, that's a lot of work.
It's only been since our last meal, 13 hours, 14.
We're gonna eat every 13 hours?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Warrior diet.
Yeah, and we're not eating warrior portions either.
If we just do that, now it's in.
And now, ooh, she's hot still,
Is it?
which is good.
Yeah.
That means it's been slow cooking finally.
We had a hot meal.
A little slim for two guys though.
An undersized rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
You need 2 a day for one person.
Oh, 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't eat the head, but we are going to eat the head.
Let me cut it open.
Sure. Smell it first.
Smells like cooked rapini. Want to try?
There's a hair on there. There's a hair in there. How'd that happen?
It was a fiber, maybe. Maybe not a hair. Unless it's a cannibal bunny. Oh, it's very tangy.
Well, that's the stomach juices.
Kind of bitter.
Slimy.
Mm-hmm.
Limey. This is the rabbit stomach, by the way. Packed full of Jeremy's garden.
Yep.
No more.
It's not really how I expected to eat from my garden, but maybe we could as like a garnish on something.
That's what I mean.
It's a little bit.
Maybe you're supposed to eat it like this.
Yeah. Just smear, like what people did with caribou stomach.
Exactly what they did with caribou stomach. That's good as a garnish.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't pop it in as a whole mouthful.
No, it'd be a little much
But-
as a whole thing. But I'm going to eat the whole thing. I will eat it because that's our vegetables for today.
Yeah.
For now. So the best way to eat the stomach is as a garnish. So a little bit of stomach, which is very tangy, acidic. Got a piece of meat there?
Yeah.
Thanks. And then a little piece of meat at the same time. And that's not bad. It's kind of like a lemon spice with a little bit of acid, because obviously you're eating stomach acid. But saves you having to collect all those edible greens. The rabbit does it for you. It's all ready to go. Nice little package too.
There's a little tiny brain in the middle there somewhere.
You got a little patch of fur on it still.
Under the chin.
So I don't know what we're supposed to do with this head, but
Pick all the meat off the outside of it.
yeah. I mean, there's the tongue.
Yep. That's probably good.
The tongue. It's good. Okay. You're using just a stick to pull it out?
Yeah.
Pull the
Seems to
marrow.
work. I think you have to break both ends if you want to suck the marrow through.
What's it taste like?
Like liver pate, kind of.
The kidney. It's pretty good. It's mushy. Right in the whole thing.
All the cheek and the jaw. There's lots of meat on the jaw. The top molars that the bottom molars would grind against. There's the top incisors that the bottom incisors cut with. I think they actually bypass each other a little bit, like a seccator or a pruning shear. There's an eyeball way back under the eye socket. That's pretty good.
You just suck the brain out
If I can find it.
and just suck out the back cavity.
Do you want the other eyeball?
Sure. Get my vitamins.
Yep. I'll push it out for you there. There it is.
Get this in focus.
It's pretty good. There's the brain. Right there. Part of the brain stem anyway.
Nice. Suck it up.
It's not going to pull out. There it is. Most of it. Tastes really rich. It's good. There's some more brain in there if you want to fish it out.
So for the brain, it doesn't want to come out on its own, but if you scramble the brain, somebody must have come up with that for a reason. Scramble your brain. You can suck a little bits of it out and scramble it again. That's the whole shot. Oh yeah. Very fatty, it's like butter. That's good though. It's really good. Very oily, very buttery. Very good. Warm and brothy. You can make a soup in there. Just need some noodles. That was a very satisfying meal. All that's left is the broth. The only thing we did not eat was the skin. And I'm proud to announce that it's only day 2 on the Wilderness Living Challenge Season 2, and the train is about to leave the station. Last year it was, I think, day 3. So it's going to be a mushroom, milkweed, and minnows. This broth is really good. I like it. I still want to get a beaver. I don't know why I'm obsessed with the beaver, but I think it's the home run I need. I want to go to the lake too, not the pond, the bush. I want to go fishing for some rainbow and sit on my butt and eat beaver. Cheers, YouTube.